Listen up, I got a story to tell. We're raising hell every Monday and Thursday.
Culture, listen up, I got a story to tell. We're raising hell every Monday and Thursday. Pop culture unleashed, facts unfiltered, hype increased. Just unleashed, breaking through the screen, living in chaos, creating the dream. This is where rage and humor collide, so hold on tight. I got that drive in me, for the life of me, staying truly thankful for the fans I see. Talking to people of all types, making the chat hype. The more united we are, the higher we all fly. I got that drive in me, for the life of me, stand truly thankful for the fans I see. Talking to people of all types, making the chat hype. The more united we are, the higher we all fly. Unleashed, breaking through the screen, living in chaos, creating a dream. This is where rage and humor collide, so hold on. Starts igniting, my brain starts igniting when Shane starts writing. God placed us in this fighting to speak and enlighten. We don't sleep to dream, we sleep to build stamina, energy to do our thing. Get your camera lights dim, the chat starts to grin. The stream is live and buffering, the show is about to begin. So sit down and buckle it in. This is Unleashed, breaking through the screen. Pop culture chaos, living the dream, living the dream. Every Monday and Thursday, pop culture unleashed, living the...
You know the problem with Hollywood is? They make shit unbelievable, unremarkable shit.
To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair.
Will you fight? No! We will run! And we will live!
Shame on you! This could be the greatest night of our lives. But you're gonna let it be the worst.
And I guarantee a week won't go by in your life you won't regret walking out, letting them get the best of you.
Well, I'm not going home.
Day may come when the courage of men fails, but it is not this day.
The line must be drawn here. This far, no farther.
I'm not saying it's gonna be easy.
You're gonna work harder than you ever worked before.
I really do believe that together we can accomplish anything.
Because we'll never stop learning and we'll never stop growing.
Failure is not an option.
That's how winning is done. Believe me when I say
We can break this army here. It has made us brothers.
I say to you, what every warrior has known since the beginning of time.
You've got to get mad.
I mean plumb mad dog mean.
If you would be free men, then you must fight to fulfill that promise. Let us cut out their living guts
1 inch at a time.
And they will know what we can do!
Let no man forget how menacing we are. We are lions.
This is your time. Seize the day.
Never surrender. Victory or death.
So come on, then! Take it!
This is where we hold them. This is where we fight.
All right, let's fly! My name is the Lord. When I
tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take
our Independence Day. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world.
We don't sleep to dream, we sleep to build stamina, energy to do our thing. Get your camera. This show is about to begin, so sit down and buckle it in. Let's go!
Yeah! My name is Brian, and Shane is not here yet, but he's on the way. In the meantime, I'm gonna add Shane's image there, just so that people can see that he's actually coming. He got stuck in traffic on the, I don't know, the 101, 105, one of those. Oh, let me adjust this. Yeah, so there's Shane. I'm putting Shane here. So Shane will be here, and when he's here, this image will go away. Oh my God, this image is huge. What the hell, bro? My name is Brian, and this facsimile is Shane. And we are here today to talk about Deadpool. Deadpool and Wolverine, aka Deadpool 3. It is a quite a fun movie. Shane messaged me after the movie, and he said, I had no desire to see this movie. And then he let it sit. He let it breathe for a minute, and then he's like, but I'm glad I did. So, good times. So, so Shane will be here. In the meantime, let's do some bookkeeping. Who is here today? We got Chrissy's Corner, a.k.a. Frodo, Ira Gamby, August TV, Yoron Fouth, John Burns, Kenneth Roque, Rodimus Prime. All good stuff. So this is how it's going to go today. We're going to do the first half is going to be non-spoilers. And I'm going to try to wait for Shane. But the first half is going to be non-spoilers. And the second half is going to be spoilers. Sweet, sweet spoilers. Balls to the wall. Spoilers. So you don't want to be here for that, and I get it. That's cool too. You don't have to be. It's okay. So John says, someone's already ignoring my post. I don't know what post you're talking about, man. What post? Be more specific. August TV. Great to see you again, man. I eliminated 2 raccoons and did some work on the coop and haven't had any issues, thankfully. There's a story there I am not aware of, but that's cool. Hey, what's up, Ken? Good to see you, man. I am down with spoilers. Bring them on. Well, we will be. We'll be bringing some spoilers on. John Burns says you checked Twitter before going on. I have not checked Twitter. I'll check it real quick while you're here. While we're waiting for Shane. Oh, you know what? I didn't see that. Shane said thanks, John. That wasn't me. But I guess there's an acolyte pitch meeting. That's pretty cool. Is that from that's from George? It's from George? Ryan George? Yeah, it is. Yeah, okay, I'll check that out later. Pitch meetings are good. Yeah, so Shane and I do share a Twitter account. I tend to be on more than Shane does, but every once in a while Shane gets to put he gets in there and he does some work. And he makes some noise. He was talking about a show called Severance being his most anticipated show coming up. And thank God he signed that one, because I disagree. Severance is so boring, but he loves it. Okay. So how many here? Look, Deadpool just came out, so I doubt people have actually seen Deadpool. But if you've seen it, or you already know the spoilers, let me know in the chat. Let me know. I'll check it out on the stream. No, I'm not gonna watch Ryan George's pitch meeting on the stream. That'd be bad. Yeah, I can't. I have to look at it first. I'm not sure what he's gonna say, and we're live. I have to watch it first. Does Deadpool die? I don't know. We'll save that for the spoiler section. Okay. You don't mind spoilers. That's good. Yeah, the spoiler section is gonna be fun because they did a lot of stuff. They did a lot here, and I posted this on Twitter a couple days ago. It definitely felt like almost a send-off, like a parting gift for all the Fox MCU stuff that is never going to see the light of day. Like how many people were interested in projects that they announced but just announced that they just never went through with. You get to see a lot of that here. And then, franchises that they didn't continue. And they had a really cool reason for it too, which we'll talk about in the spoiler section, but it's a very clever reason. It's clever. This entire thing is very Deadpool breaking the fourth wall. And it's not a serious movie at all. But I don't think it has to be. I don't think it should be. So, and we're going to talk about that when Shane gets here. Yoron sent 20 SEK. Thank you, Yoron. And I'm finally getting your name right. Yoron Falf. I appreciate that, sir. And if you're not a member, you want to be a member, hit the join button. You know, I'm going to set a random, I'm going to do it what Matt from Salty Nerds do. I'm going to set a random goal. I want 3 members today. 3. I'm just going to throw it. If you're watching this in archive, let me get 3 memberships. Hit the join button, become a member. Because the member section, that's where the magic happens, like Deadpool would say. I love the way it started off with like, okay, nerds, get your favorite sock. It's about to get weird. Another 20 SEK from Yoron Felt. He says, Penny! Penny! Okay. All right. So while waiting for Shane, let me share my, okay. Well, Yoron just he just gifted 5 memberships and boom. Then all the memberships, my goal is met. Thank you. I should have set my goal higher. Thank you, Yoron. I appreciate that. Yoron Wolf has just gifted 5 Pop Culture Unleashed memberships. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Okay. So, while we're waiting for Shane, I will give my thoughts because Shane will be here in a few minutes. I'll get my thoughts out of the way, my non-spoiler thoughts, and then Shane can give his. Hopefully he's watching this so he'll be able to hear some of my thoughts before he gets here. So this is what I think. As far as all the post-Endgame Marvel movies go, I would say this is probably one of the best ones. It's right up there with No Way Home, which is funny because Spider-Man No Way Home was pretty much a cameo fest too. But, you know, I wonder if Marvel fans are just, or superhero fans are just like, they're just like, feed me. Like, give me what I want and stop trying to give me your version. I'm tired of it. Because people really applauded No Way Home. The same way I think people are going to applaud this movie. My theater was packed to the brim, and it was fairly early on during the day, so it wasn't like a nighttime showing, which you would think that's when it would be packed. I think people are going to like this movie a lot because it honors what came before. It honors the characters that we all like. It doesn't just honor them in like, oh, here's that one character you wanted to see on screen for a long time but never got to see. But it's like comics. It's pretty much comics accurate. They make jabs at Marvel. They make jabs at the industry. A lot of jabs at the industry. Small spoiler. It's a very small spoiler here, but there's a moment, and I'll expand on this in the spoiler section, where they just absolutely give it to a couple actors that are tangentially connected to the MCU in a way that, you know, I'm surprised they can still do that in this day and age. And I think that it's Ryan Reynolds can get away with almost anything. I think he's proven himself to the point where even Disney is like, yeah, do whatever you want, bro. Because there is some stuff in here that you would think that Feige wouldn't want said. But it's very much said. And there's plenty of MCU deprecating humor where they make fun of the MCU. At one point, and that's in the trailers, he's like, he looks at Wolverine, he's like, welcome to the MCU. You joined at kind of a low point, which I'm surprised that they let him say that, quite frankly. I'm just surprised. So my non-spoiler thoughts are, I think people are going to really like this movie because it's at heart a comedy with some kick-ass action scenes, right? It makes fun of the MCU. It makes fun of Disney. It really just sort of speaks truth to power and shows how absurd the industry of Hollywood is. And they do it through Deadpool. And while, you know, it's at one point, about halfway through, I'm like, am I going to get annoyed with Deadpool at some point, and I just don't. He really talks a lot. There's a couple heartfelt moments in there. There's a couple serious parts for sure, but the majority of it is pretty much a comedy. It's an action comedy. It's a buddy cop action comedy, and it really does work. I do not think this is gonna revitalize the MCU. I'll be real. I wish that was the case. I mean, you remember me saying exactly this, saying, "Hey, I hope that Deadpool is so good that it brings back the MCU, epic event films." And MCU is great, and Deadpool is great. It's great. It's worth the view. It's very fun. It's very funny. It's very action. It really is and I hate to say this term because like love letter to the fans. But it sort of was. It was pretty much a love letter to the fans. Down to like fan casting and costumes and like everything was really like, this is what the fans want. We're going to give them exactly what they want in a 2-hour movie. You're going to get exactly what you want. And it's absurd. But it works. But I don't think that can bring the MCU back. I'll tell you why. I don't think the MCU can be revitalized by a tongue-in-cheek comedy that pokes fun at the MCU. There's got to be something. I mean, unless they're going to like hang their hat, they're going to make Deadpool their anchor. I'll save that word for the spoiler section so you understand that pun. I don't think they can. I don't think they can actually hang the franchise on Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool, because like the MCU is a family franchise and this movie is not family friendly. My kids are not watching this version of Deadpool. If they make like a Christmas version where they clean up all the language and all that and the gore, sure. But this is not kid friendly. This is not family friendly. This is very much an adult film. And you can't start your new MCU with that. So even if everything promised here, they actually fulfill in some way and they start creating MCU movies in this format, it won't work. It won't work. I think this is sort of a one and done. I think this movie's going to make a lot of money. I think a lot of people are going to like it. I think a lot of people are going to watch it. I think it's going to be, a lot of people are going to really enjoy it. But I don't think it's saving the MCU because you can't go forward from here. Perhaps you can make another Deadpool. Perhaps you can create movies inside that universe with, like, they made that joke, and this is in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler, but they're like, yeah, this is Wolverine. Disney brought him back, and they're going to make him do movies until he's 90. That's in the trailer, right? Well, he says that in the movie. As funny as that is, I don't think that's the case. I think this is Hugh Jackman's last time as Wolverine. We're not going to see him again. Luckily, what we got from him in this was great. Like, he was phenomenal. He was the Wolverine we've been wanting forever. Like, forever. He really just killed it. But they, as funny as that is, they can't act like he's not going to, I don't think he's going to come back. And even if they did bring him back, like, Deadpool poses a serious problem with the way they ended it. They really sort of can't. I mean, not that he died, I'm not saying that, and there's no spoilers here, but like, the way they ended the film, it's still pretty separate universes. Like, Deadpool is not part of MCU proper. So if he's not part of MCU proper, then I would look at this movie as like, this is the last 20th Century Fox Marvel movie. That's the way I would look at it. It's not really part of the MCU. There's elements in there but it's not really part of the MCU. It's definitely a separate thing. I did think that they would use this to actually bring the X-Men back, or to like introduce the X-Men in some way. But I don't see how. This movie has no bearing on the greater Marvel Cinematic Universe. It just doesn't. It doesn't actually accomplish. That's not the right word. It has no bearing. It doesn't move that universe forward in any way. It doesn't add anything new to it. It really just doesn't. This movie borrowed from that universe in order to tell a story, and that's it. And it really is sort of like, this is the end of this story. So it's like, I would look at this as, this is like the Fox Marvel Endgame. It's like, it's it. This is it. This is all the characters. Not all the characters, but this is the end of the story. I believe this is the end of the story. And if they do a X-Men in the future, which I'm assuming they're going to, because they have Secret Wars and all these things planned, even though Kang is not really a part of it anymore, right? So they lost that actor, so they're gonna have to either recast that role or completely do away with that character. And I did read that the original Deadpool script had Kang and the X-Men as part of it, but when they lost Masters, I think his name is, Jonathan, whatever, the guy who played Kang, they rewrote it and they did something different. So I had two predictions. I said, I believe this is going to be sort of a version of Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe. I was wrong. Mostly. Because, it still had elements of that. But they didn't commit. And I also said that I believe that if they do have the kind of intestinal fortitude, the testicles, to do that storyline and to make fun of themselves, then this will be the start of a new, exciting time for Marvel. But they didn't do that either. They did make fun of themselves. They did have the balls to do it, but they really can't go anywhere. They can't go anywhere with this. So this, like I said, this feels like the end of, it just feels like the end of the Fox Marvel universe. Which, to be honest, maybe we needed that. I certainly did. I loved this movie. It was very fun. I loved the cameos. I loved the characters. I loved the chemistry between Reynolds and Jackman. Deadpool and Wolverine together was really great. Legitimately, it was great. Even the 3D was good. A lot of it was very good. Good stuff. But not going to help the MCU. So Chris here says they'll both be back for Secret Wars. I don't think they will, man. I don't think they will. I don't know. Maybe. Anything can happen, but I don't think they will. John Burns says it's a Canadian movie, Canadian actor, and a Canadian superhero. Thanks for spoiling it all, Brian. I didn't spoil anything. Although there's a hilarious line in there about Canada. Where one of the TVA agents is he says something negative about Canada, and Deadpool just murders him. And it's like, don't talk about Canada. I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, look, going back to that, Chris says they'll be back for Secret Wars. I would like to see that, but I don't think so. I do believe there is a possibility of a character, a Wolverine, being in Secret Wars, but I don't think it'll be Hugh Jackman. I'm gonna throw it out there. I do not believe Hugh Jackman's Wolverine will be back after this. But what do I know? If they back up enough money for this guy, maybe. Shane, how you doing today, buddy?
Hey, what's going on? I finally made it.
We were just talking about Hugh Jackman coming back for more Wolverine after this, and I'm saying I don't think he'll be back.
Well, I mean, Ryan Reynolds already said, they got you till you're 90, but multiple times in the film.
He did. Right? He said it multiple times, but I don't think it's real. I don't think it's real. I think this would be
a good way to leave it. I mean, I don't know what else they can do with. By the way, it's good to see everybody again. It's been.
By the way, hey, welcome back, Shane. You just jumped right into the saddle like you haven't been gone for the last 5-6 weeks.
I know, right? So it's good to be here. Yeah. It's been a good. It's good to be back. It's going to take me a few days to get kind of settled in here and.
I see you didn't set the light up.
Well, no. It actually showed up this morning, so it wasn't happening considering our phone calls.
It looks so dark.
It is. This is my shining light.
Yeah. All right. So I gave my non-spoiler opinion on Deadpool. I would love to hear your opinion before we go into the spoiler section.
Oh yeah. So non-spoiler, right?
Non-spoiler.
Well, I'll tell you this. I did not want to go see this movie. I told my wife before I left to go see it that I think I would rather, mow the lawn than go watch this movie, honestly. I just had no interest in it, no desire whatsoever. But like a good soldier and a good Popcast brother, knowing you're going to talk about it today, I said, all right, I'll go watch it. Mm-hmm. So, and I got to tell you, I had a thoroughly good time. I actually enjoyed the movie a lot, quite a bit. And in fact, it's probably the best MCU movie since Endgame.
That's pretty much what I said. I said it's right up there, like with No Way Home. Like it's one of those movies.
I wasn't the biggest fan of No Way. I mean, No Way Home was the one with the 3 Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that was good. I hate the multiverse. I got
the problem with No Way Home was you and I were both pretty much spoiled before we got into the movie.
Hugely. Yeah. It would have been cool to like those Spider-Men to happen without us knowing it was happening.
Right. So I would agree. I think this is the best one since Endgame. So in this
I think so. Yeah. I think so. And what makes it good is I think the problem with a lot of the MCU movies, and we've talked about it ad nauseum, the big problem with most of the MCU movies is that it lacks heart. There is no star power. There's no charisma there's no, the characters don't bond well. There's feels like there's something missing. A lot of it's the writing. Well, what's cool about this movie is, well, it's not a perfect movie. It has all those things. It has great writing. If you watch a lot of the content that the MCU or Fox or Ryan Reynolds in his entire career, it's all in this movie. Little snippets, little Deadpoolisms.
Even the proposal, which I thought was great.
Which was hilarious.
That was hilarious.
By the way, I like that movie.
I like that movie a lot too. That's funny. Right. That's me. So, my wife and I enjoy that movie greatly. That's
right. Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds. But I was thoroughly entertained through the entire time. I know some people are complaining, it's too long or whatever, but I didn't check my watch the whole movie, which is interesting. I usually do. And when you get to the final act of the film, Ryan Reynolds gives you we're almost there, folks.
He does.
Breaking the fourth wall to let you know, like, this is, look, not much longer. Okay?
Yeah, we're wrapping this up.
Which wasn't necessary.
It wasn't, but it was clever.
In character, right? So that it was actually charming.
There was this moment in the TVA, no spoiler here, but like that breaking fourth wall moment where he just really gives it to MCU proper. Was great. When he grabs the camera, he's like, I told you, and he smacked his head against the camera. It was
was great. That was great,
really phenomenal. And if you understand, like, there's half the jokes were sort of inside baseball. But they do work even if you don't know the inside baseball. The great part about it, though, is if you do know the inside stuff, if you're actually following it, then the joke's just that much better.
Right. I mean, it's way better if you know, if you've been watching, superhero movies for the last 20 years, it's way better. There are some complaints that it's the nostalgia, kills it. I would say the people I see complaining about nostalgia problems are young people who obviously don't get the nostalgia because they weren't there for it.
Right. You weren't there, dude.
And what I'll tell you is, fuck you. This movie isn't for you.
Yeah.
This movie isn't for you anyways. If you're under the age of 30, this movie isn't for you.
Yeah. You got plenty of stuff for you.
You got
So
plenty of
shut
crap
up.
out there. Plenty of garbage for you to
The
watch
whole
out there.
future's for you. You can watch all the Marvels and Eternals you
Yes.
want. This is ours, motherfucker. Shut up.
And the movie kind of celebrates that. I
Yeah.
mean, when you get, obviously, if you haven't seen it, you're going to get Wolverine in his original. I don't think this is a spoiler. You're going to get Wolverine in his costume, and that's a big moment. I was listening to something where it said when Hugh Jackman tried on that costume, like grown men were crying in the room.
You have to understand, I am a Wolverine fan. I grew up watching Wolverine in the cartoons and reading the comic books. And I remember thinking to myself, that first, X-Men movie, when are we going to see Wolverine? Oh, okay, well, next movie we'll see like him actually suit up. Right. Next movie we'll see him suit up. 5 movies later, that guy never suits up. That would be like watching a Superman movie and he never puts on the fucking uniform.
Yeah, I mean,
imagine.
Here's the thing. Well, here's the thing. Hugh Jackman became such a huge. He was the X-Men. Let's just put it that way.
Well, which is funny. This movie, and we're in the non-spoiler section. This movie makes fun of that.
It does. And here's the thing. Not showing his face came off the table. Because it's like you wanted his face. Now, also, you get why they didn't wear that uniform. It's a uniform of its time.
Right, I get that.
It's a uniform of its time.
I get that.
So
Archmage says, so Smallville? Yeah, so Smallville. That's pretty much. Yeah. You watch 8 seasons of Smallville and the guy never puts the uniform on. It drives you nuts.
But here's the thing. I do want to give a shout out. It's unexpected. I expected Ryan Reynolds to be immaculate. He was born to be this character. If there is ever a character one actor was born to play, it was Ryan Reynolds to play Deadpool.
Yeah, 100%. It's crazy.
And perhaps Hugh Jackman to play Wolverine.
Yeah, yeah. You have 2 people that were born for these roles finally getting to play. It's really quite incredible. And the whole grown man cry thing, I sort of get it. Like you're seeing comics like come alive on screen.
A lot of inside. A lot of this movie is inside baseball comics. A lot of if you read the comics, a lot of the stuff's going to make sense to you. I do want to give a shout out before we get into the non-spoilers. Emma Corrin, who plays Cassandra Nova,
she's great
in this movie. Fantastic, really great villain. Shocker, surprised me because she is in the Acolyte, and I don't know, she just really came alive here, and she played an excellent bad guy.
Yeah, really good. So overall, it looks like you and I are on the same page here. We enjoyed it. Someone asked me, well, what do I need to watch to really enjoy this? And I was like, fucking everything. Like
it's tough, man, because I didn't see the Loki series, and there's big elements in here from the Loki series, apparently the TVA stuff. And
now they do explain the TVA pretty quickly.
They do, but I feel like
you did get more out of it if you watched Loki.
Yeah, I felt like I missed something. I won't lie. I mean, I was totally entertained. It was great, but I'm like, oh, I missed something. And what's funny is I haven't had any desire to watch the Loki series. Watching this made me feel like maybe I'll go back and watch it. Just because
the Loki series is good, bro. It's proper science fiction.
I know.
It's Doctor Who. It's like American. It reminds me of if Americans made Doctor
Who. All right. I might go back and take a look at it. It's
before
tough.
all the crazy Doctor Who stuff we got now. I'm talking about classic Doctor Who.
Yeah, I have superhero. I'm tired of superhero stuff. Really.
Yeah, I know. And Loki's not perfect. I mean, don't get me wrong, but like, there's enough entertainment. Like, if you already own Disney Plus and you want something to watch,
what I will tell you is that no spoilers here. I think this is a great movie to go watch, but I don't think this movie saves the MCU.
No, yeah, and that's what I said while I was waiting for you.
Yeah,
this movie doesn't save the MCU. I actually don't think it's possible, even if they intended for this to be the movie that saved the MCU. They wrote themselves into a corner. It's pretty much, it feels like the end of an era, not the beginning of something.
Well, I think if they could have. I think they danced around with the idea of perhaps using this
before
movie
Jonathan,
to get things
before
back on
Kane
track.
got arrested for domestic
right
abuse.
I mean, the only way I think they could have probably done something if they wanted to. This movie needed to be about Deadpool and Wolverine, and I'm kind of glad they didn't decide to fix the MCU with it, even though, had they done like something where all the other timelines were shut down. So the what's the timeline that's
sacred
the
timeline.
The sacred timeline, because the rest of the stuff is frustrating. I will say, well, I guess that's kind of a spoiler. I'll wait on that, but there's something interesting to be said about.
Yeah, you can see what they were planning to do before the King thing blew up in their face, though. Like, you can see like they were planning on like sort of picking and choosing the best to be part of the sacred timeline, and it did. And it's funny, like you almost felt like for a second they were going to go that direction, and in classic Deadpool function, he just ruins everything.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So that's our non-spoiler stuff. Now, this is warning, flashing red light warning. We are going to go into spoiler territory. If you are like, I don't want spoilers, then I'm sorry. You should save this here and come back later after you've seen it. Because we're going to talk about spoilers. And when I'm saying, we're not going to dance around it. It's going to be balls to the wall spoilers. This is the last time I'm saying it. Right now, we are going to talk full on, testicles out, spoilers.
Yeah. So maybe you can just run through the super chats before we do the spoiler. Give people a chance to exit out.
Okay, yeah. Daily Flare, is the movie good or bad? It's very good. You will enjoy it.
Yeah, it's. I don't think it's a great movie, but I think it's a very good movie, and I think it's a lot of fun. It's like the most fun I've had in a movie in a bit.
Yeah, it's the best of Marvel after Endgame.
Yeah, and it's a great buddy movie,
and it's better than some of the first phase movies too, to be honest. But
the chemistry between Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman's like off the chain.
Yeah, so that's that Daily Photographer, and I hope that you can come back after you've seen it and watch the rest of the stream, because I'm sure it's going to be great. You're on fall, said Shane. Yeah, big, beautiful bonghole. Welcome back. 50 sec, 20 sec.
Did you say bunghole?
Bonghole.
I mean, TP for my bunghole.
Bunghole.
Thank you.
Bunghole.
You're on. Thank you so much. It's good to be back, man. Thank you so much. And thank you for the super chat.
He also said, let's be honest, we all love Ryan Reynolds movies.
Yeah. When we go later on, when we go into the membership area, I'll talk about my trip if you guys want.
Yeah, absolutely. John Burns says, I don't want spoilers, but I think I make a great point above with Carrie-Anne Moss. Carrie-Anne Moss was not bad in Acolyte, but she was also barely in Acolyte.
She was at the beginning.
Yeah.
Love Carrie-Anne Moss. And actually, when they killed her, I was like, maybe the Acolyte died with Carrie-Anne Moss. Let's just
When Carrie-Anne Moss died, the whole series died. And that was in the first 6 minutes.
Did you already grab the memberships and everything?
Yes, You're on Fault also gifted 5 memberships like a boss.
Hey, man, thanks for being so generous. Really appreciate it.
Okay, I'm going to flash the black screen here. Boop, 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 boop. Spoiler territory, spoiler territory, spoiler territory. Okay, spoilers. First off, and I have to get this off my chest, and I'm waiting to say this. If they do bring back Wolverine for future MCU movies, which I'm sure they will, it's such a popular character, I really freaking hope that it's Cavill. I am now on, I'm telling you. So Anna, you know that Star Wars girl? She lives close by me.
I saw the tweet, yeah.
Yeah, she was like, if I wasn't already pregnant, this would get great. Yeah, dude, that scene, I think I almost got pregnant. Same thing. That scene where he loads it like a weapon.
Yeah.
Now I really want to see Cavill.
It would be too much. It'd be too much Wolverine, bro.
I want to see it.
The problem with Henry is it would be too much. Like there literally couldn't be any other X-Men around because they'd all be destroyed. They couldn't live up to his perfection.
He would totally just suck the air out of the room, like for sure. Full On or Flame On? Oh, everyone thought that was Captain America. Guess what, bro? I knew it right away. It wasn't Captain America.
No, you didn't.
I did right away.
Not from watching the movie. You didn't.
No, watch the movie. I was watching the movie, and he's like, "Oh, it's him," and I'm like, "No."
Why? Why would you? No, come on. Why?
Because I'm like, there's no way they're gonna sully the name of Captain America right before the next Captain America movie. It's gonna be Johnny Storm, which would be hilarious, and it would be totally Deadpool. And guess what? The second he said Flame On, I was like, I knew it! Called it!
Well,
He's like, Flame On!
Well, then I guess you were the only one, because I absolutely thought it was going to be Captain America, and I loved that it was Johnny Blaze.
Yeah.
I loved
Johnny Storm.
Loved. Yeah. No, it's Blaze.
That's Johnny Storm.
No, it's Johnny Blaze. Storm's the Storm's X-Men. Johnny Blaze, right?
No, Johnny Storm, bro.
No?
Yeah, it's Johnny Storm.
Oh, it's Johnny Storm is the Flame.
Yeah, is the Human Torch. Yeah.
Or the Human Torch. Oh god, they got too many damn.
Yeah,
there's too many damn superheroes.
There's a lot of fire superheroes. Like Pyro, everyone was like, "Oh, it's Pyro." I'm like, I didn't even recognize that guy because he played Pyro when he was like 15, and now he's like 40. Like it looks like a different person to me.
Was that what's his name? One of Terry's guys from 12 Monkeys and.
Oh, I think it was.
Steam, was that who was playing Flame? Was it Steam?
Yeah, he's playing Pyro. Yeah, it looked like him a little bit.
Yeah, Aaron Stanford played Pyro.
Yeah, so when he went all Human Torch Johnny Storm style, I was like,
Johnny Blaze's Ghost Rider. You're right.
That's right. Yes, yes.
Well, there's enough Johnnies, enough Blazes.
Famously played by Nicolas Cage.
You gotta love it. You love or hate that one. You love or hate it.
It's funny that he played Ghost Rider and he played, like, right before that movie, he played a character where he was a guy who escaped hell in a flaming car. And you're like, dude, you want to be in a movie with flaming cars. That's what it is, right?
Whatever's going to pay me the most money.
That's what it was, yeah. Yes. You want to do this? Yes, absolutely. Whatever you want. Will the check clear? I'll do it. Okay. No, so that was cool. Very cool. So there's a lot of cameos in this movie. Let's quickly talk about the anchor thing. When they said your universe is going to collapse, normally it takes a couple thousand years. I'm going to speed the process up because you lost your anchor. Anchor referring to Wolverine, aka Logan. That's funny because Wolverine, and they say it multiple times, is not in the X-Men. He is the X-Men.
Right.
And it's funny that when the X-Men lost their anchor character, it really couldn't continue. Even when it continued as a reboot with the kids, they still somehow brought him back as that character.
Well, that's because they couldn't bring back a young Wolverine. It just wouldn't have worked. Yeah. He's just too much. That's why I was saying, like, Hugh Jackman is Wolverine. Like, I don't know if anybody else could be. Like, Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. Like, I don't know how I always thought that Superman was what's his name?
Christopher Reeves.
Was Christopher Reeves. I always thought that until Henry Cavill played him. I'm like, oh, okay, somebody else can do it.
Yeah, and Henry Cavill, and you're like, well, I guess this works too. Right. So there'll be a moment. I don't believe they can keep making this guy do Wolverine until he's 90. You're going to have to recast.
He doesn't have a lot else going on. The only good thing about it is Hugh Jackman really loves doing stage. And, so from his movie standpoint, he's probably not going to be doing a ton and probably wouldn't mind coming back to do more cameos and stuff. But the question is do we need more? I would argue that we don't need another Deadpool movie.
No,
I would argue we don't need to see Wolverine again. I mean, I thought after Logan, I'm like, okay, that's a good goodbye for the character. And then we got to see him in all the reboots and I'm like, oh man, I really love Wolverine, and so getting to see him here in this Deadpool movie, I'm like, God damn, I really love Wolverine. So if you brought him back again, I'm probably going to still like him because even this Wolverine was not even the right one.
Yeah, no complaints at all. I'll watch him in anything, but here's the problem: like they're planning on bringing X-Men back, and
I know.
And X-Men is still, like, I'm sorry to say, without Wolverine, it just doesn't work. Like, you have to have Wolverine as part of the X-Men.
I don't know if it works at all. I mean, they just did the Days of Future Past. They've already reboot them. I think that you need to leave X-Men alone for another decade. Honestly, you just got to leave it alone. Let Hugh Jackman fade off into the, into the, the superhero heaven. And so that way we can kind of get a new, say, oh, okay, well, we got a new Wolverine.
But they're not going to, bro.
Nah, I don't think so. Disney's so hampered by, this is going to make so much money. This is going to be $1 billion movie. It's going to make so much money.
And this is only going to make it worse, because I do believe Deadpool and Wolverine is going to make a ton of money.
It's going to make so much money.
So much bloody money. Yeah. And you know what Disney's going to do? We need more Deadpools.
We need more. Yeah, exactly.
We need
exactly
more Wolverines. We need this is gonna revitalize a lot of these Fox properties, when in reality this should be the final parting gift. Here, all you Fox Marvel fans, a lot of these characters never got a finished, they never got an ending. What did Elektra say? At least we get our ending.
Well, and frankly speaking, when we see Blade and we see Wesley Snipes and we see Elektra, we see
Channing Tatum Gambit.
Channing Tatum, who never played Gambit.
Never. I thought that was funny. They're and some that never got to be, because we were promised Channing Tatum Gambit for years.
Yeah, not even though none of us.
Oh my God, we lost Shane for some reason. Yeah, bro.
Did you?
Come back, Shane. Come back. Shane, can you hear me? I'm dropping the quality down. Shane, can you hear me?
Funny, I hear you.
Oh, he's about to make a really epic point, and then he just disappeared, much like Elektra disappeared. I'm sort of seeing you right now. I'm gonna. It's getting a little better. It's getting a little better. Talk.
Yeah, I'm still. I can hear everything you're saying, and
well,
so
I can
I'm
hear you now.
Here,
I can hear you now.
But
I can hear you.
You're just. I'm not coming through.
I can hear you now. Yes, I'm going to lower my quality down, so you're going to get less of me, but at least you'll be able to talk. How about now? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can hear you great.
What was your point? What were you trying to say?
I was trying to say that those characters that came back, those 3 characters and some of the other ones that came back, I don't think they're characters we ever really need again. I know people want another Blade movie, but I don't think we need them. I mean, this was a really nice place to put them. I don't think it says, "Oh my God, we need to bring those characters back again."
Right.
Right. I didn't watch them and go, "God, this is amazing that they're here." I was like, "This is cool."
Right. It was just cool. It was cool.
Yeah.
When he said, I thought it was funny because there is supposed to be a new Blade, and there is literally a lot of struggles behind getting the new Blade movie off and greenlit. They announced it. They cast the Blade. They have writers and directors, and it's in development hell. I thought it was hilarious that Feige allowed him to make that joke. I'm the only Blade.
Right.
There will never be another Blade. It just felt almost well, that's sort of insulting to the guy who was in the middle of trying to make his Blade movie.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I never liked the character that was Elektra. There are a lot of people like the Daredevil Elektra, movies. I really disliked them, and so I felt nothing when I saw her. I did feel something when I saw Blade because I liked the Blade series, and I felt something when I saw Gambit because I've always wanted to see a Gambit movie. I wanted to see that character. I specifically wanted to see Channing Tatum. What made it funny is that you couldn't understand a word he said. It was reminding me of the 22 Jump Street thing where he's like, "My name is Jeff."
Yeah. Well, what's funny is that accent is actually that is an accent. Yeah. It's a Cajun accent.
Cajun.
And he doesn't do a bad job with it. I lived there for 3 years.
All right.
So he didn't do a bad job with it, and it was pretty good. He just had too many lines. I think he's like they went to the joke too many times with him, right?
Yeah, they did.
And I thought his was actually one of the weaker moments. Not initially when they first show him and he has a couple of quips, it's good, but I didn't listen. That superhero sucks. Okay, Gambit's not a great superhero. The fact that you're killing people with cards, I just never really liked the whole idea.
Well,
if you want to have somebody slow down time for me.
His power is that he can make anything explode.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be cards. He just happens to use cards.
It's just, I mean, I just think that was, if I'm going to get rid of something in the movie, I think he's got a little bit too much time.
Yeah. What do you think about X-23?
It was fine. I thought it was a good motivation to get this Logan. And that's the thing I want to say in the spoiler section is, they do a really good job because a lot of people were concerned that they were going to like screw up what happened with Logan and like mess up the Wolverine character by bringing him back. And so I thought it was really cool that in the beginning of the movie, Ryan Reynolds or, Deadpool's like, I know. A lot of you worried that I'm going to, that we're going to
desecrate the memory. Yeah.
Memory. And he goes, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. And he starts like digging up the dead body. He's not dead. He's not dead. And then we finds a skeleton. Like we get a skeleton of Wolverine.
That was a perfect start to this movie.
So funny.
Because every major critic of this was like, they're going to ruin the ending of Logan. And it was the perfect ending of our favorite character. And he's like, I know what you're thinking. That's exactly what I'm going to do.
And he made it perfectly clear. Like what I loved about the way they did this is they made it really clear that the Wolverine we get, the Logan that we get, is just a totally different one. And what's cool is in one movie, they take him on a complete character arc.
Right.
And there's a part of me that likes him, maybe even a little better than our Wolverine by the end of it.
He has like a more of a feral kind of chemistry. I liked him a lot. His chemistry with Deadpool was really great, but like even like his movements feel more like what you expect from Wolverine, the comics version of Wolverine.
I think that him being open to be able to say whatever he wanted. Like Wolverine's a character that is probably going to cuss a whole lot.
100%.
He's a character who's angry, and it felt really natural hearing the cursing and kind of I fell into it. I mean, I felt sad for the 8-year-old kid that some dad brought to the movie, like right next to me. I'm like looking over there going, really, man? Like
this is not a family friendly movie.
This is not the way to do this, but it felt natural. Like it felt good.
Right.
The score, the music that they chose
for
this movie is fucking
really
perfect.
Good. Really good.
The way it ends with them is fucking perfect. They have a Star Trek joke.
Oh, the Star Trek joke. The Wrath of Khan joke was so good.
So great. And it
was a really great ending. I expected to be some I did not expect anything heartfelt out of the ending, and it really was. It was a cool ending. It really celebrated the two characters. It was a good ending.
It was good. I know Deadpool has a lot of homoerotica to him about him. I would say they went a little overboard in this movie, I think, with the homo stuff. A little bit.
Yeah, but every time
he went more than the first two movies.
Every time he went homoerotic, it would be followed up with Wolverine being like, "Get off me."
It did feel like that was like the whole movie is like constantly,
it was really funny though.
It was funny. It was funny, but like,
dude, when he was getting
other jokes,
when he got his new suit from the TVA tailor,
that was great.
The guy kept smacking in the butt and cupping up his balls.
It was perfect.
He goes, "Your trailer's great. He's a predator, but he's great."
Right. And it was good like for a while, but then as we got towards the middle of the end of the movie, I kind of just wanted it to move on, like, you know what I mean, to other stuff.
That's not what we're doing.
The other one is Deadpool dog, which was great. There was a great scene with that.
Nice Deadpool.
It was appropriate for Deadpool. It was appropriate for his character.
That's a real dog. It's like it's called like the ugliest dog in the world or something like that.
Yeah, they put a tongue on it though or something. That can't be his tongue.
No, that's his tongue.
But really?
Yeah. It's the ugliest dog in the world.
Well, I'll tell you this. There was too much of it.
There was too much.
There was too much of it in the movie. There's like 3 scenes where Deadpool can't do anything else but be with this dog.
Right.
Which I get, like he loves this dog, but it should have been a 1-scene thing.
Dude, Nice Pool was awesome.
Nice Pool was good. I would have liked to see
when he gets murdered, he's like, okay, don't worry, you'll regenerate anytime. He's like, what's regenerate? You're like, no.
No, that was funny. That was actually really funny. And the whole exchange there is really great. Blake Lively was the Deadpool with blonde hair.
His wife, his in real life played the voice.
Matthew
of
McConaughey was Cowboy.
Yep.
Deadpool. That was cool.
Yep.
You don't know it, but it's there.
And Rob McKinney, his the guy from Always Sunny, and his partner was one of the other Deadpools.
Oh, okay, that's cool. The funniest part of the movie actually had nothing to do with the MCU.
Yeah,
which I thought was the absolute hilarious thing. So there's a scene where Wolverine is going to fight his brother Sabretooth.
Right.
And it's this build up, like, you guys want to see this, and Deadpool's like pulling all the knives out. No, you got to be cleaned up for this.
You got to be cleaned up. People have been waiting a long time for this.
He quickly kills Sabretooth and cuts off his head, like within a second.
Instantly.
Right.
Instantly.
And you're thinking, oh, but let me tell you, the funniest damn thing that happens after that is Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds, picking up fucking Sabretooth's head and running around and enacting a scene from Mad Max.
From Mad Max.
It was fucking funny. I laughed so hard. Everybody in my theater, it was the thing people laughed at the most.
The theater was dying. Everyone was rolling laughing.
So funny.
Really funny.
They had this Mad Max type.
And then he's like, isn't this IP infringement?
Right. Oh God, dude. And that's what made it so great, was just the ridiculousness of it. And we need, for the love of God, we need some fucking ridiculousness, because I got to tell you,
we need some irreverent comedy.
Everything is so serious. Everything is so intense. Everybody is so on edge. It was so nice to have something that we could make fun of and laugh at. And I think it'll kind of bring us all together. So overall, I just really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. I love irreverent humor.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that everything is so damn serious all the time. Everyone is so mad. Everyone is so mad all the time.
I know.
They just want something to be. Everyone wants to be mad at something, and I get it. Like, Hollywood is making mistakes. Like, Disney, in particular, has made and is continuing and will continue to make mistakes when it comes to our favorite properties. I get that. But man, did it feel good, Shane, just to turn all that shit off.
It did,
for 2 hours, and just
I needed it, man.
And just fucking I got to enjoy and laugh at shit that came before and shit that was happening now and stuff we're gonna see in the future. And I just got to like turn off the like, I'm angry about this brain.
Mm-hmm,
I'm always angry. I'm always black-pilled. This was really an escape for 2 hours.
It was a great escape. And everything we watched, like I'm watching the previews, and like everything I watched, whether it was Wicked preview, whether it was the Joker, Aladu, Joker 2 coming out, I was watching these previews and I'm like, I couldn't help watch the previews but say, my God, that's like what's happening in our world right now.
Right.
Like politically. Like it's like they got a message.
Yeah, Joker is a message.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm sure maybe it'll be a fantastic film, but like I want to escape.
Tired of it.
I'm so tired.
We need a break.
So tired, man. Like it's not like the culture war is nonstop, and like we need some what is it? The USO. We need the USO show from time to time.
We need some Bob Hope to show up and
we need some Bob Hope, dude. And you know what? Bob Hope, that's Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
And it worked. It really worked. Someone said something about X-23. X-23 Laura was actually great. When she rocked the glasses, you're right, Chris. That was awesome. Because I liked her a lot in Logan. I loved Logan. Logan was a great movie.
Well, I thought her character was better as the tool to get this Logan to become who he needed to become.
Right.
And I thought, no matter what she did in her fighting scene and stuff, I didn't really care about none of that. Listen, we already got a Wolverine. Who gives a shit if we got a little Wolverine?
I mean, which is cool. And when she put the glasses on, the same glasses that Logan bought her in the movie.
Yeah, that's true.
From the grocery store or whatever, from the 7-Eleven. Yeah, which is cool. That's like her uniform, you know? It's clever. Yeah, so that like my overall take is like, listen, like we got to enjoy something, really enjoy it, and not have to worry about the message and the culture war and all that and real life politics for like 2 hours, and it was really a nice escape. You know, people are like, well, did it feel like a cameo fest? I'm like, yeah, sort of, but who cares? Like, there was a lot of cameos, and I don't care.
Good though.
I enjoyed it.
That was a good thing. I mean, I know a lot of people think cameos are bad. Cameos are bad when there's no point to them.
Right.
There was a point to all these cameos.
Right. Even the villains, like the cameos that were in the villains, like Toad and all that. Like, it makes complete sense that Kelly Hu, the first lady Wolverine, is part of that group. And they could have cheaped out and they could have gotten some random generic Asian girl with those nails to quickly do those lines because there's no speaking parts. But they got the actual actress, Kelly Hu, to come back for these roles that were with maybe a minute of screen time throughout the entire film.
Right.
Like, they got the original Toad. They got original characters. They did break the bank to get the best people to come back for these roles, even if they were in passing. The only person they didn't get was the Juggernaut. And that's because whatever his name is was like,
and they made a joke about not getting the Juggernaut.
Right, and they made a joke about it.
Oh, the next, or what do you say? This generation's Juggernaut, or you made some sort of comment about it not being Juggernaut
because they couldn't get what's his name, Vinny something, whatever.
I don't know his name. Yeah,
they couldn't get him because that guy's on record saying, "I will never do it ever again." Like, he's very clear. Yeah, but generally speaking, I think it was a great movie. Had a good time. It's not perfect. I'm sure there's things to nitpick about it, but it was a great escape, and I really enjoyed it. I don't see any major logic issues at all. I guess if I had to have complaints, the fact that his girlfriend is like kicked him to the corner so quickly between the last movie and this movie is sort of.
Yeah, that was kind of a weak point, like why she would kick him to the corner. They didn't do a good job of that, but seeing Marina again, she's so beautiful.
She's so gorgeous.
You know, she was so great. You remember her from Firefly. Marina
Stargate.
Yeah, a little bit.
Stargate, yeah, in the last 2 seasons of Stargate, she won.
But the thing is that that is weak, but I think they hit the nail. They hit it home where, you know, Wade does have this deep-seated desire to, even through all of his joking, he has this desire to be important and special to something.
Right.
You know, and so I think they hit on that really well. And they just used her as the tool to motivate him, I guess.
I enjoyed the meeting with Happy Hogan.
That was so funny.
Him trying to get in the Avengers was pretty funny.
I love Jon Favreau.
Jon Favreau was great.
And I thought it was perfect because they needed somebody from that universe. They're not going to pay for everybody. And plus Jon Favreau was in something else with him.
By the way, does it feel like that entire conversation between the two guys could have totally just been ad-libbed and we wouldn't even know?
Absolutely. I mean, it wasn't, but the chemistry is so high with these two guys, these experts of comedy, and especially comedy filming. Like, it just felt like these guys could have sat down with a couple microphones and had this conversation and ADR'd over it easily. Yeah, 100%.
And you wouldn't have known the difference. It felt so natural.
Well, it's Ryan Reynolds cutting Happy, being a chauffeur,
right?
You know, and it's just fantastic. He's like, well, you know, I'm head of security now. He goes, well, weren't you just, we're Avengers? What do you mean we're? You're an Avenger?
What do you mean we're Avengers? You're an
I didn't know you were an
Avenger.
Avenger.
Well, he goes, yeah, well, I'm Avengers adjacent.
Avenger adjacent.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
go watch it, guys. It's worth it. It's worth this one's worth it.
Yeah, sure. And I mean, if you haven't seen it and you're watching this because you're like, oh, I don't care, I'm not gonna watch this. I mean, you probably should. You know, you will enjoy it. And it's honestly I don't know if you saw it in 3D, but the 3D was actually pretty damn good. Like, shockingly good.
I didn't see it in 3D.
So I normally hate 3D movies. I have no desire to watch 3D movies. I won't pay for a 3D movie. But in this case, I didn't really have a choice. It was the only one that was playing at the time I needed to play. And it was shockingly good. I was like, It was a kind of like, 3D where it's like, this is clearly made after the fact. It wasn't shot for this.
Right.
It wasn't shot with the kind of camera that is supposed to, where you can use that kind of depth. This was clearly shot on those expensive cameras that have the depth filters and all that. Like you can tell it was very good. And I normally don't care at all about it, but like it was noticeable. Like I feel like you're missing something by watching this at home and not in the theater.
I agree. You're on Falth. Thank you again, buddy, for the 20 SEK. Don't speak ill of Jennifer Gardner.
Look, I like Jennifer Gardner as an actress.
I'm not a fan. I'm sorry.
But I have no problem with her as an actress. I think she's good as an actress even. I
like her. I like her in 13 going on 30, bro.
I just didn't like Daredevil Elektra. I never did.
Yeah.
Although that joke about her, because remember, like isn't she on like a horrible divorce with Ben, right?
Yeah, they made a joke about it. They joked about.
That's funny.
Yeah, she didn't care that he died.
Yeah, I don't care.
They made a joke about. They made a joke about Hugh Jackman's recent divorce, which oh damn, that's pretty recent.
Oh, bro,
there were some jokes in there, dude.
What about the comics accurate Wolverine?
Oh, the
little short
one?
Wolverine.
The little short. I mean, all that stuff was comic accurate.
That was hilarious.
All of it was. I don't know why they had a little short Wolverine comic, but listen, the comic guys don't know what the hell to do sometimes. They just end up like, well, let's just do this, because I guess they run out of ideas, and all that shit's in there. I mean, the Deadpool head, the dead head.
Yeah. Head
like,
pool.
Such a stupid thing, but
you know
it's
what,
there.
You know what? I'm going to say there was a mistake there. They should have used the head from Ryan Reynolds' first stint as Deadpool.
That would have been good.
Because remember, in that movie, Wolverine kills him by cutting his head off.
Yeah.
And at the end of the movie, his eyes open up, sort of like, like this Deadpool lived.
That would have been cool.
They should have used that head.
Yeah, a lot of this movie is a celebration of a lot of Ryan Reynolds' career. So, like, the Blade stuff is a throwback to, he was part of that. Remember, he was that first Deadpool character.
He makes a joke about that too.
All that stuff is in there. So there's a lot of, there's so much fourth wall breaking. I mean, definitely more fourth wall breaking than anything else.
Yeah,
he's done, which was all really good. And then when Good Pool was it Good
Nice
Pool?
Pool.
Nice Pool. When Nice Pool says, "Well, I can break the fourth wall too," and then he breaks the fourth wall, and Ryan Reynolds,
the proposal,
Deadpool gets all mad. He's like, "Knock that shit off, bitch," or something like that. It was really funny. So, anyways, great movie. Go watch it.
when he's like, I understand you're his papa, but it should something happen to you. Can I be his papa? He's like, why? What's gonna happen to me?
There's too much. There was too much of the dog, man. I'm sorry.
When he looks at me, he's like, what would happen to me?
They were in a little glade there where no one would have known. Good stuff, brother.
Yeah. Overall, the movie was really, really good.
Thanks for making me go watch it.
Yes. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I hope that we can get more, irreverent humor. Like, I need more humor that just doesn't care. Doesn't care if someone gets offended or who it's going to piss off or what or when or if there's a second movie or if it's going to make a franchise. Just like, let's just enjoy, and let's just a movie that just entertains. And I do believe this is probably dead. This is the last. I don't think we're going to see another Ryan Reynolds Deadpool movie. Like,
I don't think so. They'll want to. They'll want to do more.
They'll want to. I think it's going to make $1 billion, but yeah.
It'd be a mistake, I think, to do more.
Yeah.
I just don't know how they can. I don't think they can top it. There's nowhere else to go. There's no more growth for the Deadpool character.
No.
And to rehash it further would just be gratuitous and a money chase. Some people think that this was a money chase. I think there was a third movie that needed to be done.
Yeah.
And this is it, man. This is it.
Yeah, I'm totally happy that, like, if this is the trilogy, this is a cool end. Like, this is a great end to the trilogy. I'm cool with it. I do hope that they make a freaking PG-13 version of this, though.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Like they did with Deadpool 2.
There was a PG-13.
Yeah. So they made Deadpool 2, came out in summer.
What's the movie, like 45 minutes?
No. What they did was, so Deadpool 2 came out in summer, and then it was successful. And so they reshot a few scenes, and they edited it for a Christmas release, and they called it Once Upon a Deadpool, and it was basically the PG-13 version of Deadpool 2.
I just don't see how the movie can be done. I mean, Hugh Jackman is cursing so much.
It works.
You know, they would have to like make it seem weird.
Yeah, it works.
Listen, here's what I'll say. Kids, just fucking wait till you're 18. All right, there you go.
Yeah.
Wait till you're old enough. 17, whatever you going.
I'm just hoping they do it so I can show my kids, because my kids cannot see this version.
Your kids can wait for 5 years, bro. Your kids can wait for 5 years, 6 years.
That's true. All right, man.
My kids ain't gonna see it.
So that's it, guys.
They're probably gonna watch it. They're actually gonna watch the damn thing on social media. They'll end up watching it on
in
TikTok.
the 1 minute TikToks.
Yeah. I found out my son watched the Korean one where they shoot everybody. The game. What was that game?
Squid Games?
Squid Games. I told him he wasn't allowed to watch it. So he said, I didn't watch it, Dad. I watched TikTok. And they just did 1 minute videos. I said, that's watching it.
I don't know how it's remotely legal, but okay.
Yeah, well, they do it. So.
All right, well, that's it. That's it for Deadpool, guys. Like, that's the whole thing. We're gonna wrap up here pretty soon. I'm sure Shane has some stuff though. Shane, tell us how your world tour went.
Oh, you want to do it here? It actually went really good. Here, let me. You mind if I send you something?
Yoran said, "No, shut the fuck up, Ryan." I don't know what.
What was that about?
Oh, maybe the Jennifer Gardner thing. I don't know.
Oh,
I just didn't like the character that I've never liked the Elektra character. I'm sorry to say, I don't like it. Even if it was a Jennifer Gardner, I don't like Elektra.
Let me be honest about Jennifer Garner. She's a very pretty girl, but there's just something wrong with her.
I don't agree with you.
I mean, what I'm saying is not something wrong with her. So there's something. She's just not a very good actress. Like, she doesn't, name me a character or role other than 13 going on 30, where she played an excellent 13-year-old as an adult. Give me a movie where she's been awesome.
Oh, I didn't know Elektra got her own movie. That's how much I care about that character. And Elektra got her own. They made Daredevil, and then 2 years later made a follow-up to Daredevil called Elektra.
Yeah.
So I think she was actually pretty good in that TV show, that HBO TV show. What's it called? I can't remember what it was called. Maybe you're on. She's in this HBO show where they go camping, and she plays the mom, and she's actually really good in that. It's funny.
It's a TV show?
Yeah, I think it might be literally called Camping or like Trailer Park. No, it's not. I think it's called Camping.
Yeah.
It's a TV show. It's on HBO. It was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. It has David Tennant in it too. David Tennant and Jennifer Gardner. Anyways, yeah. So tell me about your world tour, bro.
All right. Well, yeah, go for it. I sent you a little.
Oh, you're right. Alias was good. That's a good show.
Alias. Yeah, actually, she was pretty good in that.
Yeah. Very good. You got the map. Here we go.
Yeah. So go ahead. Yeah. This is where I was. So I spent 33 days. Once in what I would call once in a lifetime trip, probably for my family, because I've got 3 kids who are older. That are now adults, and then I got 2 kids who are still underage. So the wife and I wanted to take an opportunity to do something with the whole family. It's probably the last time as a family we do something together. So I kidnapped them for 33 days, and I essentially took them around the country. So we went to all these places, and I drove 9,200 miles, as you can see there in the bottom. And it was a lot of fun. We saw a lot of great places. Like we went to the Grand Canyon, Carlsbad Caverns, San Antonio, New Orleans, Savannah, Georgia, DC, New York, Mount Rushmore. We did all that stuff as we went around, and it was a lot of fun. I drove an RV, and I don't want to drive again for a long time.
You know what's interesting, Shane, is if you overlay this with a wild string of bank robberies, they all fall. I'm seeing a weird comparison here. You're the bank robbing family. That's interesting.
Well, listen, we need the cash. What can I say? So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it was kind of one of those things where you do it probably once in a lifetime, and I doubt we'll ever do it again. But it was pretty cool. Good trip with the family.
I can tell you right now, I will never do this.
What? Come on.
No, like I couldn't be paid to do it.
I figured out what did I tell you? I drove something like 340 hours. It was like 340 hours of driving because that damn thing only went between 45 and 60. The whole
oh God!
So it was so many hours of driving. Sometimes I was just like, at the end of the day, I'd be exhausted.
Did you have anything to watch at least while you were driving?
I mean, sometimes I listened. Actually, I listened to a lot of podcasts and stuff. Listen to those shows that you did with everybody.
Oh, you did? Oh, that's great. Yeah. That's nice. Yeah.
So I did. Yeah,
I noticed you didn't give any feedback, and knowing that you are one of those people that if you have nothing nice to say, you don't say anything at all. I feel a little apprehensive right now.
Well, here's the thing. It's really hard. Here's the thing about driving an RV and driving your vehicle. It's totally different. So every time a big rig would drive by me at like 75, they would push. The RV would actually literally go to the right. And there are so many 18-wheelers on the road. I don't know how guys like you, Jeremy, you guys out there driving truck, I don't know how you do it. It's just absolutely insane. And I felt like I had to focus the entire time I was driving. So not a lot of ability to like text and stuff like that.
It's okay. All right. Real quick. How was Yellowstone? Because my wife is pressuring me to take her to Yellowstone.
Tell her this. It's cool. But what I would say is it's very underwhelming. So I don't know if you grew up watching like Bugs Bunny cartoons where they went to Yellowstone. You see Old Faithful, right? And you got this giant geyser up there.
The geysers, yeah.
The reality is the geyser just it's not that impressive. Like it's cool. Like, wow, it's a geyser. Cool. Do you want to drive to Montana or northwestern Wyoming to go see it? I don't know.
That's exactly how I felt about the Grand Canyon. I was like, you have to see the majesty of the Grand Canyon before you die. And I'm like, I want to go see it. I'm like, yeah, so it's a fucking big canyon. Like,
I mean, I do agree. These are things you should probably see with your eyes.
But I think it's hilarious. Like, I had felt the exact same way. Like, I'm looking at the Grand Canyon like, why does anyone give a fuck about this? I don't
know. After you see it for 5 or 10 minutes and you've seen it, you're like, all right, okay, now we can go. Chevy Chase does it best in Vacation. They all, he's kind of running from, stole that money. He stole that money. And he's like, okay, guys, send a picture. All right, we took a look. All right, let's go. I mean, that's kind of what it is. Like it does look like a picture. It looks like, I mean, when you look at it first, you're like, holy shit, that's real? And you kind of look at it, looks like a painting almost. And it's nice. If you ever visit it, you should see all these places. Carlsbad Caverns, bro. There's 2 big shocks on my trip. Carlsbad Caverns in New Mexico. I didn't really know what to expect. They take you, I want to say 500 to 800 feet below the surface of the earth.
Wow.
And you walk around. It's like 57 degrees, perfect temperature, because it was like 100 and something. But these beautiful caverns, bro. Wow. Like beautiful, naturally made caverns. You walk for miles, just walking through under the ground. It's pretty cool. The other one was New York City.
Oh.
And I got to tell you,
I know like PE. There's a lot of people.
I know we talked about it, but I've been all over the world. I've been to 6 of the 7 continents, but I had never been to New York City.
Really?
And never been there. And so I thought, well, that's interesting. So as I'm driving, and I always had in my mind, like, we're from like Los Angeles. Los Angeles is a big place. Right. New York is a completely different animal.
Right.
Like I saw part of New York on the horizon and I'm like, oh, wow, there it is. Oh yeah. Look at all the buildings. Wow. That's huge, man. That's really big. Then we went on a corner and it was like, whoa. And you're like, holy shit, New York's huge.
Yeah.
It is the biggest city I have ever seen.
It's a testament to what man can create.
It is. I was never really wanted to visit New York, but I was thoroughly impressed with it. thoroughly surprised and impressed.
When I was in the military, I went to New York during right when I got AIT, and because one of my buddies is from Baltimore, and we went to New York, and I was waiting to have that majestic moment, and I was like,
yeah,
it smells like pee. Oh. It's real loud.
Well, you can't have it standing in the city,
and there's a lot of fucking people here, and I didn't like it.
You gotta have it approaching it. Like it's a. Did you fly into it?
Yeah, I flew in. Well, I flew into Baltimore and then drove into New York via taxi. And the taxi was hot and smelly, and it smelled like cigarette smoke.
Oh wow! No,
you didn't experience.
Now we parked our RV right on the Hudson River, and so what was cool was we were able to camp there overnight for like 2 nights, and we were able to be right on the Hudson River, and like the entire cityscape lit up at night.
Oh, that's cool.
And I think I don't have them with me now, but there's a couple of pictures that are just like, holy crap.
So I definitely experienced it the wrong way.
Absolutely. Yeah. But we walked a lot of blocks in New York, and I said, yeah, fuck this. I don't need to live here. This is too crazy.
I hate to live there. Yeah. So my wife wants to go to Yellowstone because she watches the show Yellowstone.
Oh, it has nothing to do with it. That's not.
She wants to go there and camp or whatever.
Well, I mean, it'd be interesting. I mean, it's a long trip to go camping.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Especially when Yosemite is like right up the street in comparison. And it's a very similar beast.
What is?
Like Yosemite is like by comparison right up the street.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that Yosemite is. I would say Yosemite is actually probably more beautiful.
Yeah.
But Yellowstone does have like these cauldrons of boiling water that is kind of cool to see. Like you're never going to see it anyplace else probably, but other than that, yeah.
Can you bathe in them?
No. In fact, there was a couple days ago, there was a weird eruption that like destroyed part of it, and people were watching. Like they had to go running for their lives.
That's fine.
So
yeah. So Yellowstone is just like a giant volcano.
It is. It's a humongous volcano. The caldera is miles and miles wide. You don't realize, you're like, oh, cool, we're here. No. The caldera is miles and miles. And when it erupts, not if, when it erupts, because it is now overdue. It's supposed to erupt, I think it's every 270 or 280,000 years. It's well overdue. And when it erupts, it will take half of our country with it. I don't want to live in Wyoming, that's for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for the show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being a part of it. We will be back, and Shane will be back. I doubt he has another trip in him anytime soon. We'll be back next Thursday at 4. Wait, let me verify. Yes, next Thursday we'll be back at 4 o'clock. The following Thursday it's going to be a different time because I have a doctor's appointment. But next Thursday we'll be back at 4 o'clock. You know, because of the way current events are going on, we might be mixing in some politics and stuff because that's so prevalent right now. But we're going to try to stick to, current events and entertainment and everything in between. So we hope you can join us. Thank you for being members. Thank you, Euron, for those 5 membership gifts. Hopefully people will be able to use that. No membership show today because we started so late. But next week there will be. So
you don't want to do membership show?
No, it's too late.
You got time? All right.
I mean, I guess we can boot one up really quick.
I mean, you don't have one ready. Okay.
No, I didn't even create one.
That's all right. We got to do a little bit of stuff here, but I do want to say hello while we're here to a lot of our wonderful members like Christie's Corner and of course Euron, Archmage Frey. You guys have some really great comments here. John Burns, who did send us over a video he wanted us to watch on the Acolyte, and he said you weren't going to allow us to review it, which I thought was funny. And he says, "Am I going to stand for that?" I just, John, I have zero control. Buddy.
I have to watch. I have to make sure it's like we have to watch it before it goes in the show. We can't watch it during the show,
right? And of course, Chris Retzliff and of course all of our wonderful members. Thank you guys so much. We will be back next week. We're going to get back in the swing of things. I know you, Brian. Let me tell you, Brian. Thank you. You have really just held this thing down, and been here doing it. And it's not easy to do a show by yourself, as some of you guys know out there.
It's not easy being cheesy, that's for sure.
Not easy. So I really appreciate you doing it, and we will be back. So
we'll be back.
Thank you guys
And
of
course, I'll be on the Salty Nerd Show on Saturday at 10 a.m. Hope you guys join for that. So Saturday at 10 and next Thursday at 4, Shane and I'll be back with big giant show, multiple topics, plus a member. It's going to be a big shebang. I hope you can join us. That said, we'll see you guys next week.
Love you guys. Bye.
Nothing is impossible. Just